Samuel Alito has identified himself with the same people who raided the Capitol on January 6th and is now going to be presiding over court cases that have deep implications over the participants of that rally.
That is Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez calling out Justice Alito for the fact that he had a controversial, some would say, extremist flag hanging on his property. And hold up, we're not talking about the flag that you might think we're talking about. There was another flag that apparently was on his property, and AOC is concerned about it. Congress is talking about potentially censuring him and certainly pressuring him to recuse himself from January 6th related cases. But AOC is going to describe in this clip more about what's going on here.
Democrats have a responsibility for defending our democracy. And in the Senate, we have gavels. There should be subpoenas going out. There should be active investigations that are happening. And I believe that when House Democrats take the majority, we are preparing and ensuring to support the broader effort to stand up our democracy. But I also believe that when Democrats have power, we have to use it. We cannot be in perpetual campaign mode. We need to be in governance mode. We need to be in accountability mode with every lever that we have.
You see a video like that and you think, like, Marjorie Greene thinks that she can be that. It's the dumbest thing about Marjorie is that she thinks she can match AOC. But anyway, let's focus on this. So Alito did in fact have another controversial flag on his property. It is the Appeal to Heaven flag, which, like the inverted US flag we've already talked about, was carried by rioters to the Capitol on January 6th. It's also known as the Pine Tree flag. And like the other one, it has a long history. It's obviously not inextricably linked to January 6th or the big lie or anything like that. It's been around since the Revolutionary War, but for a very long time wasn't used until it was picked up once again as the sort of like kind of quasi-religious part of the Stop the Steal movement. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Listen, in order for the Damage Report to keep on going, we need viewers like you to become a member on YouTube. Can you click the join button on YouTube today? Thank you. He had the inverted flag, he had this. Both of them could mean other things. It could be a coincidence that he had both of them around the time of January 6th. And we can willingly be stupid and naive and assume that that's what's going on. Or we could see it for what it is. It's him revealing what he thinks. He's not some sort of unbiased legal robot. He is an incredibly flawed ideological man. He is human like everyone. He has thoughts and opinions about politics, and it is already long established that he is the most ideologically driven member of the Supreme Court. He is the most reliable vote for whatever conservatives want, damn the precedent. And now he apparently is feeling more open and being able to just show it. Like, imagine what an equivalent set of flags on the left Sotomayor would have to fly to equal this. And I want you to briefly try to imagine what Fox would say if she had done that, if Kagan had done that. Yaz, what do you make of this?
Well, I actually love that you mentioned that he's human, because it's so strange to me how we elevate politicians and people like Alito to this kind of celebrity untouchable status, but he is a human. And it is very bizarre that someone who is sitting on the highest court in the country in the position that he's in feels so free to fly this flag, knowing that there's very little chance that there's going to be any kind of repercussions for it. And that is the problem with all of this, right? The fact that he was flying the flag at all, the fact that he was flying any somewhat political flag in the first place. And I know that this isn't a groundbreaking fact that I'm about to point out, but I just feel like as much as it is said, it doesn't quite sink in the way that I feel like it should. But this person was not voted on by the people, and he is sitting for a lifetime on the highest court in the country, in a country that purports to be the pinnacle of democracy. It makes absolutely no sense that we have a court of unelected officials issuing judgments to people across the entire country, people who we cannot vote out of office. The only way we can get rid of them is if they die or if they step down. That's not okay. And I think everything that's happening right now with the Supreme Court, with all of the justices, and now that we're seeing where their allegiances lie, how the fact that they are not immune to having personal biases, the fact that they can make whatever argument they want. If they feel a certain way, they can write an argument, a legal argument, to support how they feel about an issue, right? I think all of this that's coming out now between Alito and Clarence and whoever, hopefully it results in some kind of transformation of the Supreme Court. We've yet to see that, but there is hope for that in the future.
It should. I mean, people should be talking about it. There was a brief window when Biden got in that people were talking about it, and now unfortunately they're not. I mean, like, I don't know what else the Supreme Court can do to tell the country that reform is desperately needed. Clarence Thomas is one of the most openly corrupt people in American history. Alito is everything that the right has said about activist judges. He is that. Activist in his like personal political expression, activist in his complete disregard for precedent. And yeah, they're gonna be here for a very long time. Okay, and bear that in mind, by the way, when we get to the presidential election, the Supreme Court is always one of the chief consequences of who becomes president. Do you want to potentially replace Alito with someone more radical than him or someone who might be a little bit reasonable? Just keep that in mind. Oh, by the way, he's declined to respond to questions about it. So you silly little peasants, please stop asking him these impolite, uncouth questions of yours. He is a god among men and he doesn't have to answer your questions. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.